I know, Mr. Buffett, that you've said that you don't read what other people say about the market or the economy, but do either you or Charlie have an opinion about how you think things are going to go? Are you bullish or bearish?
You may have trouble believing this, but Charlie and I never have an opinion about the market because it wouldn't be any good and it might interfere with the opinions we have that are good. If we're right about a business, if we think a business is attractive, it would be very foolish for us to not take action on that because we thought something about what the market was going to do or anything of that sort, because we just don't know. And to give up something that you do know and that is profitable for something that you don't know and won't know because of that, it doesn't make any sense to us, and it doesn't really make any difference to us. I mean, I bought my first stock, I think, in probably April of 1942 when I was 11. And since then, I mean, actually, World War II didn't look so good at that time. I mean, the prospects, they really didn't. I mean, we were not doing well in the Pacific, and I'm not sure I calculated that into my purchase of my 3 shares. But I mean, just think of all the things that have happened since then, atomic weapons and major wars and presidents resigning and all kinds of things, massive inflation at certain times. To give up what you're doing well because of guesses about what's going to happen in some macro way just doesn't make any sense to us. The best thing that can happen from Berkshire's standpoint, we don't wish this on anybody, but over time, is to have markets that go down a tremendous amount. I mean, we are going to be buyers of things over time. Now, if you're going to be buyers of groceries over time, you like grocery prices to go down. If you're going to be buying cars over time, you like car prices to go down. We buy businesses. We buy pieces of businesses, stocks. And we're going to be much better off if we can buy those things at an attractive price than if we can't. So we don't have any fear at all. I mean, what we fear is an irrational bull market that's sustained for some long period of time. You, as shareholders of Berkshire, unless you own your shares on borrowed money or are going to sell them in a very short period of time, are better off if stocks get cheaper, because it means that we can be doing more intelligent things on your behalf than would be the case otherwise. But we have no idea and we wouldn't care what anybody thought about it. I mean, most of all ourselves. I mean, Charlie, do you have any?
No, I think if you're agnostic about those macro factors and therefore devote all your time to thinking about the individual businesses and the individual opportunities, it's a way more efficient way to behave, at least with our particular talents and lacks thereof.
If you're right about the businesses, you'll end up doing fine. We don't know, and we don't think about when something will happen. We think about what will happen. It's not so difficult to figure out what will happen. It's impossible, in our view, to figure out when it will happen. So we focus on what will happen. This company in 1890 or thereabouts, the whole company sold for $2,000. It's got a market value now of about 50-odd billion. Somebody could have said to the fellow who was buying this in 1890, you're going to have a couple of great world wars, and you'll have the panic of 1907. All these things will happen. Wouldn't it be a better idea to wait? We can't afford that mistake, basically. Yeah, we very seldom find something to buy on a negotiated basis for an entire business. We have certain size requirements, big limiting factors. It has to be something we can understand. I mean, that eliminates 95% of the businesses, and we don't pay any attention to them, but we get lots of proposals for things that are just totally outside the boundaries of what we've already said we're interested in. We prefer to buy entire businesses or 80% or greater interest in businesses, partly for the tax reasons you mentioned, and frankly, we like it better. It's the kind of business we would like to build if we had our absolute druthers on it. Counter to that is we can usually get more for our money in wonderful businesses in terms of buying little pieces of them in the market, because the market is far more inefficient in pricing businesses than is the negotiated market. You're not going to buy any bargains, and I mean, you shouldn't even approach the idea of buying a bargain in a negotiated purchase. You want to buy it from people who are going to run it for you. They want to buy it from people who are intelligent enough to price their business properly, and they are. I mean, that's the way things are. The market does not do that. The market, in the stock market, you get a chance to buy businesses at foolish prices, and that is why we end up with a lot of money in marketable securities. If we absolutely had our choice, we would own we would own 3 times the number of businesses we own outright. We're unlikely to get that opportunity over time, but periodically we'll get the chance to find something that fits our tests. And in between, we will, when the market offers us the right prices, we will buy more, either businesses we already own pieces of, or we'll buy 1 or 2 new ones. Something's usually going on. There are tax advantages to owning all of them, but that's more than offset by the fact that you'll never get a chance to buy you'll never get a chance to buy the whole Coca-Cola company or the whole Gillette company. Businesses like that, the sensational businesses, are just not available. Sometimes you get a chance to make a sensible purchase in the market of such businesses. Charlie?
Well, I think that's exactly right. And if you stop to think about it, if 100% of a business is for sale, you've got the average corporate buyer is being run by people who have the mindset of people buying with somebody else's money, and we have the mindset of people buying with our own money. And there's also a class of buyers for 100% of businesses who are basically able and shrewd financial promoters. I'm talking about the leveraged buyout funds and so on. And those people tend to have the upside but not the downside in the private arrangements they've made with their investors. And naturally, they tend to be somewhat optimistic. And so we have formidable competition when we try and buy 100% of businesses.
Most managers are better off in terms of their personal equation if they're running something larger. Now, they're also better off if they're running something larger and more profitable. But the first condition alone will usually leave them better off. We're only better off if we're running something that's more profitable. We also like it if it's larger too. But our equation actually, our personal equation is actually different than a great many managers in that respect. Even if that didn't operate, I think most managers psychically would enjoy running something larger. And if you can pay for it with other people's money, I mean, that gets pretty attractive. How much would and let's just say you're a baseball fan. Well, how much would you pay to own whatever your hometown, the Yankees? You might pay more if you were writing a check on someone else's bank account than if you were writing it on your own. It's been known to happen. And in corporate America, animal spirits are there, and those are our competitors on buying entire businesses. In terms of buying securities, most managers don't even think about it. It's very interesting to me because they'll say that they'll have somebody else manage their money in terms of a portfolio of securities. Well, all that is a portfolio of businesses. And I'll say, well, why don't you pick out your own portfolio? They'll say, that's much too difficult. And then some guy will come along with some business that they never heard of a week before and give them some figures and a few projections, and the guy thinks he knows enough to buy that business. It's very puzzling to me sometimes. Zone 4.